Hey there, Wanderlusters and business builders. Welcome to episode 388 of the Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Dollinger, and today we are diving into something that has transformed both my business and my passport stamps collection, and that's the law of attraction. And we're going to specifically talk about the law of attraction for entrepreneurs who want to travel more and how this can happen in your life and in your business. But before we jump in, a couple quick reminders. One, if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button and leave a review if you're enjoying the show. And a huge shout out to our sponsor, Bella Bling, for supporting entrepreneurs with their wanderlust by giving them the opportunity to get clothing that is Disney inspired and magically inspired for all sizes. So she has a size inclusive clothing line, and you're going to hear more about her amazing products later on in the show. And then last thing, I want to make sure that you get your ticket to Purpose, Profits, and Pixie Dust because time is running out super quickly. Tickets are only on sale through the end of March, so March 31st, and you're going to have so much FOMO, and I promise you, not nearly as much speed and clarity and fun if you don't come. So come, I would love to see you in person and give you a big hug and really help you grow your business, scale your business, make your business look like how you want it to look. So you get to do some more of these things that we're going to talk about today. So head to the show notes to get that link or send me a message. I'll send it to you directly and let's get you in the room. Okay, so where this episode came from is so many of you have messaged me all the time and asked how I managed to run a successful business while exploring over 30 countries and visiting Florida and Disney and other states in the United States so much because I am based here in the United States. And today I'm going to pull back on the curtain on the mindset practices that I take to make it all possible, specifically talking today about the law of attraction. So first thing, we need to start with the basics. And what is the law of attraction? First of all, it's not just some woo-woo concept. And I get that you can probably think it is. And so please don't turn off this podcast. Like listen all the way through, come into this with an open mind and really see what I do with the law of attraction. Because to me, it's about energy alignment and intentional creation. And who doesn't think that energy alignment and intentional creation can make a big impact on your life, right? So in simple terms, the law of attraction states that like attracts like. So we learned this, way back when we learned Newton's laws, an object in motion stays in motion, those sorts of things. Along that same idea is that like attracts like. So birds of a feather flock together. I'm sure you've heard that before. So your thoughts and your energy create your reality. And as entrepreneurs, we already know this intuitively, right? We envision our business and we believe in our ability to create it. And because of that, we're able to take actions that align with that vision. And a lot of people think that the actions and the rewards or the outcomes have to come first for you to be able to envision it and to really believe it. But I don't know if you've seen the movie The Santa Claus, and I believe the elf Bernard says it to the son Charlie first, and then the Charlie repeats it later. Is like seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. Is that it? Or did I swap that? Well, anyway, that's the idea of it, right? We don't always have to see the things to believe them, but in order to believe them or in order to see them, we get to start believing them first. So believing that it can happen. And when we have that belief, we are able to take more actions that actually align with our big, audacious vision that we have for ourselves and our business. But here's where most entrepreneurs get stuck. We apply these principles to business growth, but we create separation when it comes to our lifestyle design and our travel. And today we're going to break down that barrier. Because the truth is, the same manifestation principles that help you land your ideal client or hit your revenue goal can absolutely be applied to creating a travel-rich lifestyle. It all starts with you. So before we dive into the strategies, let's address the three biggest mindset blocks that I see in entrepreneurs who want to travel more. One is that we have the I have to be present to be successful block. This comes from a scarcity mindset that your business is going to fall apart without your physical presence. I have taken many trips and not worked on them. And guess what? My business didn't just survive, it thrived. That experience has taught me that systems and not constantly being present, or my presence in the business can create sustainable success. And a few different coaches of mine throughout the years have pointed out to me that I sell more and I get more eyeballs on my social media when I'm traveling. And they're so right. Like think back to the last person that you know who took a trip somewhere. I bet you were checking their stories or their wall a little bit more frequently to see what they were up to once you saw that they were posting about it, right? Same thing applies for you when you're on a trip and people want to, even if you're not posting about your business, people are following along with you more. And that's creating more and more of that know, like, and trust. The second one is that travel is a reward for your hard work. And that is a definite block as well, because so many entrepreneurs put travel on the someday shelf, waiting for the perfect moment when they've quote unquote earned it. This creates an energetic pattern of delay and deferment. Travel isn't just a reward for entrepreneurship or a reward for hitting a certain goal or things like that. It can definitely be a catalyst for greater clarity, for greater creativity, and more opportunity in your business. And also, I'm a firm believer that traveling makes you a better human in general because you're getting to know more about other people and cultures and yourself, right? And you never know who you're going to meet on the road. I've definitely met new clients when I'm traveling and met new connections that have turned into clients or referrals down the road. So I definitely view this as something very tandem, business and travel going hand in hand. And the third block that I hear a lot, or I see a lot, is that I can't afford to travel and grow my business block. This is going to stem from the belief that travel and business growth are competing priorities and that they're draining the same resource pool. So I'll share how I found that intentional travel actually fuels business growth through expanded perspectives and unexpected connections. Like I mentioned, like networking with different people, you never know who you're going to meet or what ideas you're going to come up with when you're on the road. Especially since travel is probably a part of your business in some way if you're listening to this show, view this as a chance to be more of an expert in your business. And so the reality of these three blocks, and I'll review them super quickly. The first one is that I have to be present to be successful. And that can go, even not with travel. Maybe you have this block coming up around, spending more time with your friends and your family and just doing things at home as well. The second block is that travel is a reward for hard work. And the third block is I can't afford to travel and grow my business. And I believe that all three of these blocks aren't facts, and they're just stories that we're telling ourselves to create our current reality. So let's rewrite them. Let's apply the law of attraction to travel. So now we're going to get into the practical, not as woo-woo side of things, or maybe a little bit woo-woo as well, depending on how you view this. But here are 5 different ways that you can apply the law of attraction specifically to create more travel as an entrepreneur. Okay, here's the first one. You're going to create a travel vision board. But here's the caveat with this, all right? I get to say, and here's the caveat with this. It's not just travel. It is everything that you are envisioning and wanting to bring in your life, in your business, and in your travels. Don't separate them. This is one thing that I see a lot is, I'm going to put my work things on this side. I'm going to put my, my personal life goals on this side, and travel places are here. Why don't we mesh them all together? My own board includes images of me working from beautiful locations alongside my revenue goals and my dream clients and my dream house and all of those things. This visual integration helps your subconscious recognize that these desires work together and not against each other. Because remember, I'm a firm believer that we are creating a life that we love, with our business as a part of that, with our travel as a part of that, with our personal life as a part of that, and that these things aren't separate. This is another thing that I like to keep in mind as well when I'm thinking about like my branding and my personal brand. We are complex human beings with different levels, like the onion, like different layers of it. And so, why do we keep these separate? So let's put them all together in a place where we can really envision this. I like to do this digitally. So I have it on like my computer. Every time I fire my computer up, you can have a physical board as well. Those are really fun to make. It could be like the backdrop on your phone, but anywhere where you can have this, where you can constantly be seeing some of these images, I think can be really, really helpful. The second tip is using daily affirmations that combine business and travel intentions. So some of them could be like these. I attract clients who respect my travel schedule. My business thrives while I explore the world. My travels inspire creative solutions that serve my clients better. You don't have to use those. Maybe you're going to use a mixture of those, but write some of these down that work for you and practice saying them to yourself when you can. maybe rewrite them daily or have them on a sticky note in your workspace. I have also done where I've recorded myself in a voice recording and listened to it in the morning with a bunch of my intentions and affirmations for the day. This is great because it's just reminding you of what your goals are and why you are showing up and doing the things that you are doing. And I also like to do this first thing in the morning and even throughout the day if I can, because it also reminds me the things that I get to say no to because they are stopping me from spending my time on the things that I should be saying yes to. So keep that in mind as well. If you're someone who's like, this is too woo-woo for me, then, and you're more of the strategical, systematic, like black and white kind of gal, I get it. I was that girl. Then maybe viewing it as that, like, okay, well, knowing your intentions and your goals and reminding yourself of them is going to help you stop wasting your time doing other things. Maybe that can be a mindset shift for you to start trying this. Okay, the third strategy is just to practice gratitude for the travel you've already experienced, no matter how small it might have been. Even appreciating a weekend getaway or a beautiful walk in nature is signaling to the universe that you value freedom and exploration. Share about your trips with your audience and in conversations. Don't be afraid to talk about, the weekend trip that you took or the trip that you took in high school to Spain and England with your Spanish club and the things that you learned. Those are your experiences. It doesn't matter how long ago they were. It doesn't matter the amount of time. I think a lot of times we can get into the comparison mode where we think like, oh, my trip isn't as cool as someone else's. Feel free to share your lived experience with your audience and in conversations and bring it into what you do. Because again, you're just putting it out to the universe that you love doing those things, that you find value in them, and that you're going to continue doing them. The fourth strategy, release the how it's going to all happen and focus on the what. Many entrepreneurs get stuck in the logistics just in general. How am I going to serve my clients when I'm traveling? How will I afford it? The law of attraction is going to work best for you when you get clear on what you want and release the attachment to how it actually happens. And as someone who is a self-proclaimed control freak, this can be really hard for me. And I actually think that's the name of a book, How Not, no. It's actually Who Not How, or Who Not What. I think it's Who Not How. That's another great book to listen to or to read because it focuses on the connections with other people who might be the people who are able to be the catalyst to take you to your next level. So focusing on the who and the how focusing on the who and releasing the how, or focusing on the what can I do, is going to be something that is going to allow you to get really, really clear and focused so that you can actually make this happen for you. And the fifth tip, take inspired action that aligns with your travel intentions. So this might be setting up systems that are going to allow you for remote work. This might be finally setting up like an automated sequence where people can sign up for your thing. They get the email sent to them. They're able to get into the Facebook group. Maybe this is something that you have automated or delegated where a VA is able to get in and let people into your, whatever that looks like for you. But we have to get these systems set up, friends. I promise you, systems set you free. That's actually the name of a podcast that I listen to from time to time, but it's true. Systems set you free 100%. So setting up those systems that allow for remote work, restructuring your offers so that you're able to create location independence. So maybe this is moving from a one-on-one model or taking very limited one-on-one clients, or maybe you're adding into your contract that when you are out of town, you will be available via WhatsApp or Telegram instead of like actual Zoom calls, so that you have more of like the time freedom as you travel and the location freedom. But restructuring your offers so that it makes sense for you to be able to run your business while you are anywhere in the world is going to make a huge difference as well. And then network with other people who are showing you what's possible. I am a firm believer if someone else out there has figured out how to do it, there's no reason I can't figure out how to do it. And I believe that firmly for you as well. So get around people who are showing you that what you want and the lifestyle that you want is possible, and then take these actions that I have mentioned to make it happen for you. And the last thing that I think that we all get to do when we are setting our travel intentions, go ahead and book some trips, put a deposit down. You don't have to pay in full right now, but get some things on your calendar to look forward to. And again, to signal to the universe like, hey, I'm out there. I'm going to be doing these things. We're worrying about all the other pieces. Like, we're going to figure it out. I'm doing the trips. Remember, the law of attraction isn't passive. It's about energetic alignment followed by aligned action. So, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. The life that you're dreaming of, the one with the stamps filling your passport pages and you on the cruise ship, hearing the sounds of the ocean waves and the profits filling your bank account, it isn't just possible for other people. It's available to you right now. So, what if instead of saying what could go wrong, we shift it to what all could go right and we live in that energy instead of the contrary? The law of attraction isn't about magically making things appear. It's about removing the self imposed limitations that keep you from seeing and seizing the opportunities that are already surrounding you because they're there. We just have to reach out and grab them and step into that same energetic field where they are. So, this week, I challenge you to take one aligned action toward creating more travel in your entrepreneurial life. Maybe it's blocking off travel dates in your calendar, even before you have a specific destination. Maybe it's creating one system that would make remote work more feasible for you. Or maybe it's just starting a travel fund where you commit to setting aside a percentage of each client payment or, $50 a week in order to pay for your dream trip that you want to take in the next year. Whatever that action is, take it with the full belief that you are an entrepreneur who travels, not someday, but now. So next week on the show, I have on Dylan Jargis, who is a 7+ figure Etsy shop owner. And no matter what your business is, this episode is going to give you lots of tips on sales and time management. It goes along really nicely with this one because Etsy is something that, if you are selling on Etsy or even the other sites and systems and ways that she mentions, is something that you can do fairly passively, depending on what the product is. So until then, keep your passports ready, your profits growing, and don't forget to sprinkle a little pixie dust on your business dreams. I will see you next time. But before you go, don't forget to check out Bella Bling Shop. That's my sister shop. She's freaking awesome. And use code podcast for 10% off your first order. Make sure you head over to my Facebook community. It'll be linked in the show notes, and grab your ticket to Purpose, Profits, and Pixie Dust Live because I promise you are not going to want to miss it. Thanks so much, friend. Go out there, create, and own your magic.